So for you, there it sounds like there's a base. Once these certain things are covered, then everything is kind of a bonus.
Mm.
Does that sound right? Is
Yeah.
that a good assessment?
Yeah.
What are the things that you think for most, if not all, of humanity need as that base?
Support, for me. Having a network of family or friends to support, to bring you out of those bad and negative times in your life, I think. What else do you think?
For me, I think it all sort of circles around the same thing. It's ultimately, it's achieving what you actually want to do, and most people normally eventually find this out, one way or the other. The way that it unfortunately normally shows itself is with the midlife crisis, which is where most people, they start out doing what they were told to, and they started, chasing this carrot and this dream that some mortgage lender told them, and they go on and on and on and on and on and on, and then eventually they get to a point in their life where they suddenly realise that they've traded a large proportion of their life. They actually haven't actually got anything for it. They aren't actually any happier than they were when they were 16. They normally end up sort of doing these crazy things to try and bring them happiness, and a lot of the time it does. And then you get a lot of people who basically are like looking from the outside, and they're going, "Oh, have you seen Dave? He's basically gone mad. He's now going like paragliding, parasailing. He's going up Mount Everest next year. He's having a proper midlife crisis. He's trying to do fun things before he dies."
I think instead of feeding his ego, he's now feeding his soul.
Yeah.
That's kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not that I necessarily believe in souls or anything, it's just kind of like a real thing.
And it's when people...
Self-worth. Just saying, having self-worth. Not and actually believing it.
Yeah, and it's when people are onlooking and going, he's having a midlife crisis. It's like, he's not having a crisis. This is actually the most sensible moment of this person's life. This is where they've had this epiphany and they've gone, all I'm doing is I'm exchanging my life for money. That's all that I've actually done up until this moment, and I've got money and it hasn't brought me anything. I need to try my best to do fun things before it's too late. It's like, that's not a crisis. And most people who finally reach sort of enlightenment or like happiness in their life or contentment, they've basically done that step. They've realised that all of the things that they were told to chase or they thought bring them happiness actually didn't. And they've made a change, and they're now actually pursuing what is real happiness. And it happens to people at all different ages.
Being true to themselves, really.
Yeah.
Going what people tell you should be doing. What your boss tells you should be doing, what your peers tell you should be doing. So you know, what do I want? What do I want to achieve? And actually fulfilling that. It's a big thing, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and most people go through it eventually. Unfortunately, my first job was actually working as a handyman in a nursing home. So
like a care home.
Yeah, in a care home. And there's all of these people who were there, and it was so funny. There were basically two types of people. There were the people who were sat there in the chair, like unhappy. I didn't say. Yeah, there were people who were sat in their chairs, unhappy, just pretty much like waiting to die, and just rocking themselves and just looking so depressed. And then there were the other kind that was sat there in the rocking chair with a smirk on their face, smiling. And you go and chat to those guys or girls, and you'd ask them about, what exactly is it that they're sort of happy about, and all of these stories and all of these things, and it was and the happier they were, the more stories they had. It was directly relatable, and it was always, it was, oh yeah, and then we did this, and there was this time that and then we went here and we did this, and then we tried this, and then we did that, and you speak to them and you're going, so why are you happy at this moment in time? Like, as long as they were able to be asked the question, it's like, that this is the final step. You're in this home, we both know it, and you've actually said it to me, which is why I dare say the statement. And it all boiled down to, they're like, I did everything I possibly could. There was nothing else I could have done. Absolutely nothing. And the things that went wrong actually were kind of a good thing, or I learned from them, or they just had to happen. I had to learn the bad thing to do 10 good things, And
it's like fulfilment, isn't it?
yeah,
You feel you've
and they're
fulfilled
like,
your life.
and they're like, the only thing that I can be unhappy about is that I don't live longer, and that's just the human genome. I can't actually change that. So how can I be mad that humans only live for 100 years? It's like everybody does it. So what do you do? Like, I had a brilliant time. I'm actually pretty knackered. I'm tired. I have worn out all of my joints.
Yeah.
I am, and I've brought happiness to other people, whether through having children and they know their children are happy, or whether just bringing joy to other people when they didn't have children. Maybe their friends had children and they had brilliant times with them, or they wrote books, or they did plays, or they
Sharing your experiences with people.
yeah, they invented things or something. They brought other people happiness, and they were happy, and
That's what we feel like with our blogs and videos, actually. That people contact you and say, thank you so much, I'm living vicariously through you, I'm not able to do this, I'm looking after a loved one, or I've got a job that I can't leave. That makes me really happy, that you're actually changing someone's life for the better. That's a really powerful thing that I never thought I was ever going to be able to do. Like, who I thought was just a normal person getting on with my day. So to be able to actually do that and achieve that makes me really happy.
Mm.